Welcome to episode 67 of Dirt's Podcast. I'm Brock, and with me most of the time when his microphone's working is Brooks.
Hurtful. What up? What up?
Not a lot. Haven't been broken into this week, so it's been a blessed week.
Not yet. Not yet. I got my goons coming.
I suppose. Yeah, I don't want to count my chickens, I guess, before
they hatch, baby.
Well, they might get stolen before they hatch. So, so straight into it. We
Let's
have varying music tastes.
definitely.
But we tend to, there's some music we cross over with, I guess. But I dare say we wouldn't classify ourselves as Swifties.
Well, so listen, I don't want to be the guy who inserts him into a fandom. I don't think I have enough stripes to call myself a Swiftie, and that's word to the Swifties. I want to be on their good side.
We're probably two of the probably two of the guys she hasn't dated. She goes through them pretty quick. It's like,
yeah. The guys she dates have net worths that we will never sniff in our lives. I'm not that shocked that she hasn't made her way to us.
You never know, but she's like, oh, I need an album to come out soon. I need some stuff for the album.
It's proven to work.
Date someone and break up with them prior and write it all.
Listen, what isn't broke, don't fix. And that method of album creation is working.
Yeah, so she's the reason we speak about Tay-Tay, she is on her Eras tour.
Damn right.
Which I believe, as it says, Eras I think it goes for like 3 hours something. It's like a marathon.
Yeah, that's event. What hurt.
And it just covers every different era of her career. Now, she was meant to do 3 concerts in Vienna this upcoming weekend. I think it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They were cancelled. And they were cancelled due to an apparent plot to launch an attack on the event.
Right.
They've got 2 people in custody as we speak. This has been recorded a couple of days prior to it being released, so they may have more by the time you hear this.
I mean, that's...
But, so one's a 19-year-old, and the other is, let's see, it was 19, and I think it was an older dude.
Yeah, I only saw the report about the 19-year-old.
Yeah, there was another one that was up to no good with it as well. But they have links. Well, apparently they reckon they have links to ISIS.
Okay, so that's what I thought.
Radicalized.
He's a stupid teenager.
Yeah, but I mean, finally, ISIS is doing some good in the world.
Oh my God. I tend to disagree because I personally, I do. I was probably considered a Swiftie when she was in her country era, so I would have liked to have seen that part of the show. And if I was an Austrian, I'd be pretty fucking pissed off here.
Who else should ISIS go for concert-wise? Nickelback? They'd be doing some good.
I mean, I defend Nickelback on podcasts a lot too, so...
What?
That was my first concert I ever saw, was a Nickelback concert. It was the first time I saw lesbians in the wild, and I think
that's just Chad Kroger or whatever his name is. He's
I mean, he does look like a butch-style lesbian, but
he's actually called Chad. Chad? It's Chad, isn't it?
It is. I believe the lead singer's name is Chad.
Hey, you bagged that roll of wings, though.
That's true. Hey, props where it's due. I was like 10 years old. We were sitting in pretty good seats, and I remember looking over, and these 2 women are making out, and said to my aunt who brought me, I was like, what are they doing? It's like, look away, honey, look away. I was like, okay. And then, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half later, they're like dancing, and the chick, she was like, one of them was like kind of in the bleacher seats, the other was like on the floor, but they were like right near the railing.
Did you use bleach after for the seats?
Well, that's where we're headed. So She ends up, like, spilling the woman, like, in the seats ends up spilling her drink on the lesbian she was making out with, like, all over her, like, completely douses her in this drink, and I can only imagine it's, like, probably a cranberry vodka, the stickiest possible drink you could get, and then they went from making out to the most intense fists I've ever seen in my life, and I'm a UFC guy. I was like, "Holy shit." Like, what just happened? It's like they loved each other an hour ago. Now they're grabbing each other's tits. I was like, I love it. So that is when I think I went from a boy to a man. Was at a Nickelback concert. So no, ISO should not target Nickelback. Go for like, I don't know, Ed Sheeran or something.
Did they have powder on their nose?
I mean, are you reading Nickelback lyric right now? I know that's a Nickelback lyric. And yes, I'm sure a lot of cocaine was done at this event. I feel like that was probably the drug of choice if I had to take a guess. It was in or at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut, one of the classiest places in the world, a casino.
Did they have their pants around their feet?
Listen, you also picked one of the actually that song is actually not terrible. That's a decent song. Figured You Out by Nickelback. I know Nickelback, baby.
Did you take a
That's my
photograph?
first concert. I'll defend them to the death. I did. I did. You want to look at it? I also that meme is also hilarious where it's like, look at this graph, and it's always just some stupid.
Yeah.
That one makes me laugh. I didn't or no, never mind, never mind. I was gonna say, wasn't ISIS tied to the thing that happened at the Ariana Grande concert? But I think that was just some, like, psychopath. I think that was
Yeah, I
just
think. Yeah, but there was Eagles of Death Metal in France. I don't know if that was
Ooh,
ISIS related, where the guy
Jesus
came in and
Christ.
started mowing people down with machine guns.
Why does ISIS hate music and concerts, apparently?
I don't know.
I think they hate everything, if I'm gonna be completely honest, besides,
Pretty
like
much everything from the West, yeah.
you're
Probably.
correct, besides being prehistoric fucking bad people. Bad people is the word we'll use.
People. Prehistoric bad people. We going from how we said Avril Lavigne, right?
Yes, I was a big Avril Lavigne guy, of
Yeah, one of her big songs, Skater Boy.
course.
Skating. You alluded
Ah,
to it last week in the
I did.
podcast that you were caught a little bit of the skating at the Olympics, which is still on. Now, did
Ah,
you happen to see the Aussie girl that won gold in the
yes.
skating?
So that's who I ended up seeing, and I was very impressed. At first, I was like, I don't know how they're gonna pull skateboarding off as an Olympic sport anyways, and now granted, like, the Olympics are pretty much a glorified field day, but I was like, How are they gonna do it?" I was very, very captivated by it. I thought it was very sick, and she killed it.
And for those of you who don't know, and I don't know whether Brooks is aware of it, do you know how old she was?
No.
14. She was our
Really?
youngest ever gold
Holy
medal winner.
shit. Jesus Christ.
Prior to that, our youngest was, I think, 14, but less days. But that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
back
yeah.
in 1956, I think,
Jesus Christ.
when Melbourne had the Olympics. But yeah, 14.
That's insane.
I know, but I kind of
When I
feel
was
bad for her.
okay, of
You win a gold medal, you're like,
course.
hey, but she won't be able to enjoy the closing ceremony because it's past her bedtime.
Correct. She can't drink, she can't do anything.
I know. She can't even, well, I don't know. At 14, I wasn't getting jiggy with it, but I mean, she's not going to, there's probably not many people in the village she could hook up with if she was that way inclined.
Abso-fucking-lutely. In this day and age, people would be like, "No, please don't even talk to me. Like, please get
Look, I
away
could
from
make a Josh Giddy joke there, but I'm not going to.
You should."
But no, he's my boy. Unfortunately, they got knocked out as well.
That's all.
Uh, yeah, squandered a 24-point lead in the basketball.
Oh.
But he was nearly in tears. Well, he pretty much was afterwards. He did an interview with Channel 9, which is our host broadcast here,
Mhm.
and which is good. Which is a good thing. You want a player, and I've heard a lot of Bulls commentators sort of say, he's got heart. He wants to win. I
True.
want a player like that. I don't want someone that just wants to be a basketball player and have the millions. And
Lonzo
this
Ball.
guy was saying, yeah, well, the guy was saying, Ben Simmons. I don't
Mm,
want someone like that. I'd rather have Giddy with, the flaws that he can work on, but at least he's, got a heart and he wants to win and he cares and this, that, and
exactly.
the other. It's like, cool. And like he was running, like him and Paddy Mills were the only two that did anything in that game.
Patty Mills is
Stayed
an
up and watched
insane
it.
international player.
He would have been better. Like he was behind when he was at San Antonio. Unfortunately, he was behind, a lot of
Tony
good
Parker.
guards. Yeah.
I think he was
So
behind Parker at one point, and you're not getting the
yeah,
starting job over Tony fucking Parker.
no. So if he was on a lesser team at the time,
Oh, fuck yeah. I
he
think he
would
would have
have.
been a star.
Yeah, probably what Giddy's going to have happen to
Potentially,
him going
yeah.
to the Bulls.
Yeah.
You know.
Dangerous scenery.
So yeah, so unfortunately that happened, but I was kind of happy to see because we only won the one game against Spain in the group stages.
Right.
We lost to Canada. They went undefeated, and for whatever reason, we lost to Greece, which we shouldn't have lost. We just played like
Tough one.
we just played bad. No, nothing went in. We just didn't protect the ball. Turnovers left, right, and centre. But Canada got knocked out by France. So even
Mhm.
though they won every game, they're out.
Of course.
They play Greece now, I think.
I believe.
Yeah, and Serbia play America.
Yep.
Because when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, we've got to beat Serbia. That's doable.
Definitely.
And then when we had our start, I'm like, okay, looks like we're going to get knocked out by America. And
I
then we
mean,
didn't even get there. It's like,
no
you know,
no one can beat USA. Like, USA started the
oh,
Olympics on DraftKings at, like, -500 to win gold. It's like, okay.
if
It's like, I'm not
France
betting on that.
if France beats Germany, I think it is.
Oh, that sounds correct.
Yeah. Sorry, I said Greece. No, but sorry. Greece got done by
By
Germany.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
Wagner brothers just
Yeah.
went on a tear. So if France beats Germany and then
Mhm.
you assume Serbia is going to get done by US,
I think so.
France US final,
That'd be sick.
that's going to go off. Well, you're going to have people rooting for France because
Oh, of
it's
course.
in France.
Going in as the
So
dome. Oh, fuck yeah.
and Wemby want to show up, sort of thing. So
I think
it's
that
going to
would be the
end
best
well.
game of the Olympics, would be USA France. I
Mm.
think that would be the best one. Like you said, like,
They've been
USA coming in
pretty
as
good.
villain.
I didn't like. They've been fairly well. Obviously, ours went to OT, but apart from you guys smashing Brazil,
Shit out.
they've been fairly tight ish. Like
Yes, yes.
half the game, three quarters of the game, it's been sort of back and forth, and then one team's kind of pulled away
True.
for the most part. But there's been a few
Most
games where it's been, got to make this shot, got to make this shot, and it's
yes.
gone down to the last, 10 minutes.
I forget which one it was. There was one
Like
in
the
the I
last
think it was the one with Japan in the group stage that they ended up
with
coming from
France.
behind. It might have been,
Yeah, they
and
nearly
then
knocked France off. Yeah,
blew it in OT. It's like, come on, because there's that picture of that. Like, I mean, whoever.
short dude next to
Yes,
everyone's
yeah.
even
Everyone
Rudy
showed next to
Gobert.
him. It's like he specifically waited for that tiny ass Japanese point guard to be there to take that picture. It's like he did him dirty. It's nasty work. Nasty work by that photographer. Looks like a
I think.
three-country race now: Australia, China, US.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys.
We're up by 2, I believe, on China. We got one more. We got
I'm just
something
looking
else. We
now.
got 2 today.
We're. Hang on, I'm
Women's
bringing it
wrestling.
up now.
I think USA got women's
No, you're back
wrestling.
on top.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we're up by 2 over China.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you said you're two,
No, no,
as
no, no. We
in
got 2
rank.
today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You've got 27 gold.
Yep.
China's got 25. Then we've got 18, and that's the best we've
Oh,
ever done in an Olympics
okay, okay.
ever. And then we've got a fair break over France.
I would think so. That's what
We
I'm
got
saying.
five
It's 3 countries.
five golds over them. So, and I believe
Coming out of
we've
time.
got some good chances coming up for some more
Okay.
gold.
There's some weird
Uh,
shit coming up where I think unsuspecting countries will steal some. There's some, like,
yeah, like
weird
if they had an event for mime, I think France might win. But outside of that, I'm not sure what other
A
French
bit ahead of yourself. You might do that,
sport. Yeah, it might be an exhibition sport.
right? I mean, they have weird I forget what's like, I think artistic swimming is coming up. Every time I see it, I think it says autistic swimming. I was like, "Oh,
Well,
no,
I
that's,
was about to say, why
if you
they
read it
just
correct."
jump in the pool and it's just like who can be in the pool and not make eye contact with anyone the longest? That's the event.
That's, I believe, coming up in a few weeks at the Paralympics, I believe, is autistic swimming. If you look at it quick, it does look like it. Like, "Wait, what?" But there's, like,
Shit.
weird shit coming up. I was very into the
Well, that, no,
ping
well, that
pong.
wouldn't count. The Paralympics, you got to have something missing on you. You can't. Autism isn't in
Not yet.
the Paralympics. It might be in the Special Olympics.
Not yet. You'd be surprised. You'd be
What?
surprised. I'm gonna start the movement. I'm gonna start the movement.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
You'd be surprised. I'm hoping USA can pull it off. I think there's obviously they still got one, hopefully. I can't say obviously, but hopefully. Coming in basketball. I'm worried about the women's golf. I think China's gonna get us there. They have some really good
What do you think
golfers.
about the women's basketball? Where our team's going to medal in that, but I don't know where.
Yeah, I mean, Team USA is good. I still don't want them to win for not taking my girl Caitlin Clark. Also, the 3-on-3 was stupid. I don't understand why we sent G leaguers. I feel like we could have found, some people
Because they
to
don't
play.
take it serious, probably. That's why.
Well, so I forget who was saying this. I was listening to some podcast. I forget who it was, but they're basically saying like it almost feels like you're taking like the B role if you go and play the 3-on-3. Like if you're going to the Olympics, you want to play on that dream team, Team USA. Like you don't want it. I was like, it's still a fucking gold medal if you win.
Yeah.
Like if
Well,
Jalen
didn't
Brown was on the 3-on-3.
wasn't there a former NBA player that won a medal? I'm not sure what color, but
Yes, in a different
in
sport.
what, volleyball was it?
Volleyball. Yes. Who the hell was it? Not Jimmer Fredette. I wanted to say him. I think he's
A
going off
white
on the
dude.
3-on-3. Yes, I believe it was
Oh, is he
basketball to
tall?
volleyball.
Going to have a fair leap, you think?
True, but I mean, the beach volleyball is crazy. Like watching that, I was like, I couldn't do it. Like I can't jump in the sand, especially the 2-on-2 where you have to, make up all that fucking ground. Like screw that. It's like I can't even play 6-on-6 when we're at the beach. I'm like gassed after 5 minutes.
I get worn out just watching the scene from Top Gun.
Kind of like the planes that went over my head.
With the opals, that's our nickname for our female basketball team. Like
Ooh.
the Boomers are the
Oh yeah,
men.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah, and a boomer is a slang term for I don't know if it's a large kangaroo or a big male kangaroo.
think it's
It's
an
something to
old
do with
kangaroo.
kangaroo. Kangaroo that gives up 24-point lead. The well, the opals, Lauren Jackson,
Okay.
who she's now in her 40s. She might even be may have
Damn.
40, 41. She's made a comeback. She's Olympic comeback. She retired. Like at one stage, she was probably the best, if not the second best, female basketball player in the world.
Holy shit.
Like she went up against Lisa Leslie
Okay. Yep. Yep, yep, yep.
when the WNBA kind of first started,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then she went off, retired, had a baby, and then she sort of contemplated a comeback and played and went all right. And
Yeah.
she earned selection on the Olympic team. So I don't know how many minutes she's playing because I haven't really
Well,
followed the Opals, but I just see the update saying, "Hey, the Opals are now
yeah,
in
exactly.
the in the semi, so we're going to get a medal no matter what," sort of thing.
Golds count, baby. If it was
Mm-hmm.
total medal, I said it only golds count because if it was total medal count, the Olympics is over. 88
Yeah,
medals for
no,
the
I
US.
don't know what color they're going to get, whether they're in the gold medal game or whether they're in the
Have
bronze
to
game.
say
But
Australia. And I'd be rooting for Australia in that one, just because again, should have took my girl Caitlin.
yeah, I'm just glad that for some reason, no shade on Canada, but I'm just glad they didn't make it. I don't know. Dylan Brooks kind of,
Dylan Brooks is a douchebag.
yeah, like he
Don't
got
like
swatted by Wemby big time. I think twice
good.
when France beat him. But a lot of people were sort of saying, when we played them, Giddy had a crazy first half.
Mhm.
I think he dropped 15 points or something. And then they went, okay, let's clamp him. So they put Brooks on him and they put Lou Dort on him, who were both shutdown defenders, which I took that as a compliment to Giddy more so than
I remember you saying that.
yeah. But a lot of the analysts were like, oh, he only had a good first half and then they shut him down with Dort. And then it's like, well, hang on. These are first, though, I don't know about Dylan Brooks. I think
I don't think anymore.
We'll probably say second team all defensive. The defensive,
Yeah.
they're defensive minded,
Yeah.
or they're 3-and-D players.
Exactly.
So to be seen as that threat, where before, you're saying to prior in the NBA season, he's an offensive liability because they just sag off him in defense when he has the three. And then now he's got the ball and it's like he's going well. So they've got to man him up and really squeeze him and you're giving him shit. Which is it? Like you can't have, you can't,
I agree.
Yeah, that peeved me off a little bit with people just not giving him a chance. And like we mentioned too, how because America's so big, you just go for your team and you don't have a broader knowledge of players in other teams. You see these comments like, oh, I only knew Giddy from the couple of times when he played against the Bulls and what I saw in the Olymp, and he balled out then. If he does that for us now, all right, never heard of Giddy Price, till the Olympics. And and even people not knowing, because he had, I think, 7 turnovers in the game.
Right.
But one, I don't blame all those turnovers on him. There were a couple where just his team wasn't moving for him and he was running out of time. So he had to force the issue. Whereas in the NBA, they're going to have he's going to have better players around him, even though it's an international game.
Still.
The best players in Australia aren't the best player,
correct.
sort of thing.
Correct.
Which some people have said too, Kobe White next to him is going to be better than Patty Mills next to him. It's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. Kobe White is much better.
We don't have a Zach LaVine in our team as the Australian team. And just a couple of the guys looked really timid as well. They just didn't have what we'd say like a mongrel in them, sort of like a dog and, being fierce and they just sort of looked a little bit hesitant and laid back. I've always thought
never a good sign.
Dante Exum has a little bit of that too late. He looks
that's a good player.
A bit lackadaisical or just doesn't have the, I don't know.
I know scared isn't the right word.
Killer instinct or whatever.
Yeah.
Timid or where Giddy might.
I think timid is better. And timid's a better word than scared.
Where Giddy might get grief for, he's had 7 turnovers, but when you look at his 3 years in the NBA, I think it's 2-point-something turnovers he's averaged.
Right.
So, which, obviously you'd want that to come down, but compared to his assist ratio.
Right. You're going to turn the ball over passing that much.
He played 4 games, the Olympics is 4 games, and I think there was an average of 4 turnovers.
Yeah, but like I said, I mean, he's playing with,
and he's got the ball in his hand more.
Not the NBA's best. He's playing with Australia's best, not.
Yeah. And everyone last year was crapping on like, oh, his numbers went down. It's like, no shit, he played about 10 minutes less or whatever it was per contest.
There's also,
my numbers would go down.
Scandal that kind of got in his brain, I think. I think that kind of affected him a little bit.
A bit of outside noise. Or even some douchebag on a YouTube video I was watching today said, oh, I'm not really worried about the on-court stuff with Giddy. It's more the off-court stuff. Like what happens if he signs a max extension when he comes off this season for his rookie season and those allegations come back? And myself and some other people commented like, man, what do you want about? He was investigated and cleared by the NBA and more importantly, the police.
Also true.
The Bulls have got no worries. It's not like he's going to...
No. It's not like taking on, like in the NFL, I think it's the Cleveland Browns traded for Deshaun Watson, and he had much more salacious allegations against him.
Yeah, like, and Giddy's aren't, 2 years, 3 years, what the ages they were is not a big thing. It's,
No, but it was funny when
plus
it
you
happened.
lied.
It's also funny because they called him Josh Diddy, which I found very funny.
Yeah. And he's just can't take a break with what he's averaged. Like he averaged 17 point something points in the
Right,
Olympics.
right. Just couldn't get above
Poor guy,
18 though.
like just can't. If he went out and he averaged 20, well, even if look, he's buggered. If
If
he
he
averages
averaged
under
18, I would
17,
have been
like I'd be
better.
like, oh, yeah. Or if he averages 21, because 21's a big age over in the States more so
Damn
than
right.
here, because everything is 18 here. People be like, oh, at least he's got over 21. That
Damn right. You can never
he's,
escape it.
he's
There's
tough. You
always
can
gonna be
never escape it unless he comes out and has like a Jordan like year and
even then.
27 points or
Nope.
whatever.
Nope. We're gonna be like, oh, he
But
finally is going after the older people.
got to back him.
Proven it doesn't mean
Anything else
quality. Ah,
to talk about
go
to wrap this
go
bad boy up?
USA. Go USA, I think is my final thoughts. And stay away from concerts, ISIS. I think is our two big
Yeah.
takeaways.
If anyone wants to put in the comments what concerts ISIS should
Yep.
stop.
None. None. We don't promote
Well,
them.
look, no one was injured in this.
That's true. That's true. At least
That's
they
what I'm
caught it
saying.
this
They
time.
just stop it. If Nickelback knew that every time they went out there was
Lesbians fighting.
no, that there was a chance that there could be an attack,
I think
it
that
stopped
might
them
be
going out.
I
It'd
think
make the
that
world a better place.
I think that's why they've stopped touring. I don't know that for a fact, but I haven't seen concert tickets for a Nickelback show in quite some time. I don't know if the demand's as high as it was in fucking 2008 or whatever I went.
Oh, well, you can find us on the Antisocial Network. So that's antisocialnetwork.net. Link in the description.
Get it? It's
Brooks,
ironic. Podcast network. Ha.
yeah, a lot of other good podcasts on there. So if you like ours and you want to find something that's not similar to us, then get on there. Because I think we're the only what we would class as comedy, or try to be comedy at least.
Interesting.
Everything else is a little bit different on there, which is good. Variety is the spice of life, as they say. If you want to get more of Brooks, you can catch him on the Wrap It Up podcast. So when's your next episode coming?
New episode will be out, believe, on Saturday night, potentially. We took off last week at a golf tournament. Played well, no big deal. So I believe Saturday night we'll have a new episode, and we should be live on Friday night as you're listening to this. So tonight.
Sweet, sweet. All right. Well, until next week, take it easy.
Yes.